What's up in the sky.com? Martians, what's up in the sky.com? Yo, what's up in the sky 37 right here? My name is Will, and and I'm here with the thrill. Say another Martian video. Yes, I'll take you there to Mars upstairs. What's up in the sky.com? What's up in the sky.com? Let me tell you about it. What's up in the sky.com? Alright, so I told somebody what's up YouTube, my name is Will. What's up in the sky 37? Or here, let me do it how I usually do it. What's up YouTube, it's your boy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel or www.whatsupinthesky.com. It is my Friday night, even though it's Thursday. We got Fridays off for a little while. You know how the furlough goes. So I'm making videos. That's what my videos on Friday are. Supplement my income, teach you guys about Mars. This was awesome. I found I found another good guy today. I had subscribed to this guy a while back, and I should have put it up. I should have brought it up. The reason I was rapping at the beginning of this, or trying to do that, was because I had this guy on here told me, I was like, I always ask you guys what you guys want to see and stuff, and he wanted to hear me rap, so that's as bad as it gets. I can actually play the guitar and sing and stuff like that. Maybe one day I'll do that for you guys, but I uh, I got on this guy's video earlier, and it was pretty cool. He has it's like Martian animals and stuff like that. It's like Mars Dogs, I think is his website. I'll tell you guys, it'll be linked below. I always link everything below. So will this NASA picture be linked below, because NASA's back up if you just saw my one video earlier. But he starts out the video like, he lives here. I'm like, man, this is pretty interesting. And tell me this isn't creepy. This is just one of the little things in there. Tell me that this rock down there does not look like a girl with hair staring at you, looking down, and she's got some sort of weird dog body to her, shape or something. This looks like this person was just sitting there, and the sun just said, atmosphere went away, everything froze up, the CO2 just turned to cold. This picture's got so many faces in it, and I don't know if this is just matrixing going on, and this could very well just be matrixing. I'm not gonna say that that's not, but it's still one of the most human-looking statues I've seen, or I would say Martian-looking. Her face is getting covered here by something. Looks like she's hunting or about to dig into something. And like I said, kudos to this guy. And I can't believe I haven't seen this picture yet, because this picture is off the chain when it comes to stuff. And it really is. And there's a lot to it. And I'm gonna try and go over some of it here. Let me show you where it is, like I always do. It is at, let's see, and decide if I'm going to keep that. If I kept that wrap on, you guys know what I'm talking about. If not, you'll be like, what in the world is Will talking about? I started this off with a little stupid rap. Here we go. Alright, Adobe Photoshop. That's not what I was doing. I was showing you guys, let's say, it's been a long work week, so it's been one of those weeks. Had a lot of internet installation stuff to do. We've been tying our networks together with VPNs and stuff like that, all of our networks in our offices. So it's been one of those weeks where it was like non-stop at night working. So here we go. Let's see. We needed to go to there. Here we are. Oh, what did I do? What did I do? All right. PIA 17268, Puzzling Point Lake Outcrop Revisited. And this is a cool one. You go ahead and get it here. It's not that big of an area here. We're talking that she's probably, what I'm saying is probably about 2 feet, 3 feet big. That's what that little girl would be here, the little girl. Now let's look at this in Photoshop. Now, let's see. I should close this other one. Well, the other one I've already showed some of the anomalies, but I'm going to look at some of the main anomalies with you guys here. We'll take our time on this video. Look, it's Thursday night. I've been relaxing. If you guys want to sit around and watch a video with me here, we'll do it. It's going to be one of my old school long ones, because lately I've been doing the short ones because I don't want to keep up your guys' time. I almost feel like I'm wasting your time, but this kind of stuff this is what I came here to start doing. And this is what I'm going to enjoy doing. 'Cause this is what I saw this picture and I was like, whoa, I sat here for at least another 2 hours the other day and looked at it. And I was like, these are the pictures of why I started doing this. So let's take a look at her. Oh, I got that fixed right now. That's why that's doing that. We'll even her out. And, well, first what we're going to do, let's do this right off the bat. Let me back it up. Every single picture from the Curiosity rover seems to have this tint on it. And what NASA will do is sometimes you won't see this tint on it, and it'll say they've white balanced it. I think what they've done is basically taken off the filters. They put on a couple red filters, they put on a couple like orange filters and like a yellow filter, and add it to everything. And what it does is it blends in every single thing to make it look like dirt. Granted, a lot of it has dirt on it, and that makes it look even worse because what it does is it blends in where these like rocks and stuff are. You don't see hardly any of that in the distant stuff. So what I do is go into Photoshop. Photoshop can see this stuff. It's a very sophisticated program, and all I do is they've got auto things set up in there. So for the people who want to do the lazy way, you hit auto color and it drops it right to what it looks like on Earth. And then sometimes I just go ahead, I go back and see what the auto contrast and the auto tone look like, and it changes it a little bit, but not too much. So I say we leave it like that. Now tell me that didn't make it look like Earth. All I did was hit auto. It seems like all it did is it goes click, 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 and takes off that stuff. So now let's go over here and go for that find again. Let's see what this girl's doing. All right. She's just hanging out there. So hopefully you see what I'm talking about. It's a spooky thing. Maybe this is a good one for, Halloween coming up here. I don't know, does the rest of the world do Halloween? I'm in the United States. I'm very isolated over here. We didn't learn much about other countries. I hate to say it, in the public education system, we really didn't. Um, when you get into the, and even when you get into higher education, you still don't learn much about the world. Just how to manipulate it in many ways. It's pretty sad. Let's see here, auto. Let's see, we don't want to do auto now. I want to go get the gamma and stuff like that. Let's get the exposure. And just maybe play just with a tad, bring it out, see what we can do. If we can pull, let's see, alright. Alright, let me see if we can make it any bigger on the screen here. I've got this 27-inch iMac, and I always forget it's not that big one on people's screens, especially like when I go watch my videos on the little baby screen. It starts driving me nuts. So alright, so that's pretty interesting. I must say I love this one. It's got auto tone it real fast. It's got the hairline. Like I said, here's the mouth, the nose, two eyes, and they're just deep sunk in. Like, have you ever heard the stories about black-eyed children that like come to your door in the middle of the night or like in the middle of the day, and they always want to come in your house, and there's always like one or two of them, a guy, a girl. If you haven't heard those stories, this is what I imagine one would look like. Look at that deep, dark eyes, like she's looking at the Rover, like whoa. And I tell you what. That's probably just a thing of rocks and it's, matrixing in your head, but that's pretty cool. Now let's go check out the rest of this thing because that's not it. There's a lot of other stuff on here, and we'll come back to you if we need to. We'll go back into Photoshop, but let's go ahead and go to preview. I'm just using Apple here, and let's look at some of this rubble that's around it. Look at the. We've got a lot of these. What we've seen are these like they look like something kind of like rebar. Like whatever happened to Mars, when whatever blew up or whatever happened to there, it seems like everything got crumbled up, and there was a lot of like concrete type material that was there. And now this one in general does seem to look like there was a lot of stuff that was living there. And I must say, who knows what happened there? It could be totally. You ever gone down or seen the videos of Antarctica? I guess not many of us gone to Antarctica, but you see some of the videos like the dry lands where just like everything is dead, is just preserved, and there's a couple lakes that Arcane just sent me something from here that had the lakes where the birds touch this water, it just gets still and it dies there. It looks like Neil Young's song Thrasher. You ever heard that song? Like, well, this is what it looks like when the thrashers come and you're standing there. All right, so let's see. Now here, this is in Photoshop, so what I can do also here, I can play with the color a little bit as well. So let's see. It's down here. I got like 6 monitors hooked up here. I want to take the temperature and drop that a little bit because that's going to give me put a little bit of septa back into it. And let me sharpen it up just a tad, and then we'll put it up here for good luck. Alright, now, what I thought was interesting, there's a lot of little crevices here, and this to me this had to have been an area had to have been underwater or something, or maybe used at one time as a quarry. There's a couple areas that look like quarries, but then there's this stuff like the dry lands where there's just interesting deformations. See how these rocks are just kind of look like they've been weathered away, and they're just standing up there. It's very interesting. I like it. I like it. Up here you got some cool stuff, and there's a lot in this picture too. You're gonna notice a lot. It gets blurry where stuff gets good. Okay, check this out. See these? This has got some symmetry to it, like the top of something. Almost looks like a road cone, but the material changes here. Like it's either been. It looks like it's part of the same piece. It's really blurry right now, but it does look like it's connected, and it's just kind of cut there at the top of the picture. Here you've got some interesting looking everywhere you go, it almost looks like faces. Tell me this doesn't look like a face here. Here's the mouth, here's the nose, here's the hand up in the head, and it's just laying there. Eyeball, eyeball, nose, mouth, and this is the hand up here on the head, and they're just laying there. And here's another one right here, another being. Check this out. Eyeball, eyeball, nose. That would just be, they're probably just rocks, but this is either one of the most craziest coincidences. I look at these pictures a lot. So do you guys. You guys mostly, I know a lot of you guys watch my videos. I always check out you guys' profiles. I love watching to see who's watching the videos and what you guys do, what kind of music you're in, where you're from. So, and it's not like Facebook. It's kind of stinks how you can't only interact so much. And they're starting to add these fan features YouTube is, so I give them some props for that. So I can finally start figuring out who you guys are, what you guys like. Because like I said, you really don't get too much interaction, but you wish there was more like Facebook interaction on here. But more things like this was some animal or something, and just was, had eyes, mouth, and just kind of was there. Just looks like the animals down in the dry lands and are the or dry land. I think those are the dry lands in Antarctica. But check this out, this little figurine looking thing right here. I thought this was cool. Kind of looks like a little something or like a paddle or something. If you flip it up, you can hit something with it. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. And a couple things that seem down here look kind of framed out. But this just kind of be like that Swiss cheese look to this. How it looks like that rebar and stuff. Which I thought that was kind of cool. Nothing too major there. Nothing too shocking. Um, But where were a couple of things? I'm missing something. That they said that's cool right there. Oh, and also here on this corner there, just neat how that's kind of folded up. Where was the piece that looked like it was from the quarry? That's not it. Oh, but look here. Here's another interesting piece. It kind of looks like it was connected to something. It's built up, and this kind of looks like here. Here's a mouth. It's got like a smiley face. It's got a nose, two eyes, and the head's just chopped off. There's no rest of the statue, but it looks like it's got that up headdress like you'd see in the Egyptian style, up like that. You know what I'm talking about? I'm sure you've seen it on the walls. Oh, we're gonna bomb out. Oh, it didn't bomb out. I'll be darned. Thought it was gonna bomb out. And check out under here. Check out, see how like you get up under the rocks. Well, look at that. This almost looks like something that was like a beam under there, just kind of been dragged or whatnot. There was a lot of this. I mean, it just looks like it had some high heat into it. Basically, something got hot, really hot here. Um, this right here looked interesting. Here, check to see how look at the difference in from here and here. See how it gets blurred out like that? I just don't understand. And the mosaic doesn't change right there, but look how much of a difference the blur is. And they blur over top of here too, so it's not even. It makes you wonder why they did that. This stuff here looks like it's got some symmetry in it. Once again, you see more of these would seem to be heads, two eyes, nose, and a face, some head up there. And see how the intricacy of these, and it's interesting how this part is. This looks like rubble. This looks like somewhere that was just thrashed. If you looked at 9/11, after 9/11, and you looked at that rubble pile, this is what it would look like after all that heat came through. If we would just set and left and said, forget this, we're going to let it stand how it is, that's what it would have looked like. Interesting stuff here. You see this looks like a circle with a wheel, and it's got some points coming out of there. 1, 2, 3, kind of like sun rays, and it's got this kind of like built into this other rock. And then when you come here, this has got symmetry to it as well. Look at that. Very interesting. And this is just kind of, like I said, just that pulled and twisted and turned. What do we got here? Sorry if I'm making you guys sick. Let me pull this out one more time and figure out where the other stuff I wanted to show you guys were. Alright, that was up there. See how there's a lot of this bright stuff too? That to me was interesting. Okay, here we go. Here's some more of this stuff. Alright. Some more blocks. What looks to be some sort of like sheet metal or something out here. Just kind of sheared off. And just see how it kind of looks like it's worked here? Look at this. It's got the cut in it. Cut down there. Up here is more of it, or more like more material that could have been. And once again, here as you can tell where the pictures just, they didn't get, here it says, see how this over here is blurry, but this isn't, see how it cuts off there? You could tell that that just wasn't in focus as much. But down at the bottom is kind of, it was a little bit more interesting. It wasn't straight on. Look at this stuff hanging off this rock here. Tell me these just don't look cool. Look, that looks like a big old, I don't even know. See how that's being, how is that even being held up off of that? That's got to be attached to here with some force. I mean, that seems pretty heavy hangover, and it's just see it's got a shadow right on it. So whatever it is, it's being held up. Man, it looks cool. Another one of those two eyes, noses, and a mouth. Um, More of these. These almost look to see this almost looks to be faces, and this one's looking this way. It's got a mouth, nose, and a big eye here, and an eye on the other side because you barely see, but it's looking that way. Almost looks like this whole place was just carved out of something, and was something decorative, and that is pretty cool. There, that was the first time I noticed that. These blocks are pretty cool. Almost seem to be some sort of structure how they've got it in, and they see how just it all gets torn apart here. Like here, it looks like this could have been connected with the rest of this. Here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this whole stuff could have been over some more, and that would have been there. And look, it comes up here, kind of like a dugout canoe or something up at the front, and then it just looks like whatever happened, it got thrashed, moved over a little bit, and there could actually be a body of something. Looks like skeletal remains too, with the same type of thing. Let's see here. I pointed at this. This is just another weird looking thing here. Whatever you can make out of that. And look at this is just another worked rock that looks like it should have been part of something really ordnate in the back here. How it's got the cut and the smoothness to it. And it's just buried in all the mud and the muck. Now there was a stone here that looked like it was from a quarry. And I'm going to find... Oh, here we go. Check this out. So this looks like they were taking some stones from here. Well, not this one yet. This is... Sorry. Hope I'm not making you guys sick. But download this one. This is a pretty big download too. But this was just interesting, that little rock there. See how that's like a little cubby hole? A lot of little cubby holes in this area. And if you look, I said, this is not a very big area. So, and like I said, I'm not one to say that whatever life on Mars is that big. And it's one, what is it? Mars about 1/3 the size of our planet. Who knows what stuff could evolve to on there. This just looks to see that perfect circle in there. It almost looks like that was a small craft that just crashed into it and is part of it, or was part of the building and just came down. See how it's got even more like sharp metallic or not metallic or like quartz looking material that's just glaring off the sun. I still haven't seen those ones that were shaped. Let's check this one out. This is pretty interesting. Okay, this also had, so look, this looked like it was part of something. I mean, you can see the perfect L shaped into this, and it's cut down. It's even kind of worked and beveled here. Up here, it comes up this way. This looks like this could have been part of a machine or something. This looks like there's a bolt, could have been connecting it to something. And let's say you gotta take your eyes, if you're thinking, God, this guy's insane. What's he looking at? Just a bunch of rocks. It looks like rocks to me. You gotta step out of your mindset, this current mindset we have here, because you really got to take a leap here. That's what I do here. If you've made it this far, your imagination runs wild, or you're just interested in hearing me blab on, which drives me. I don't see how anybody can sit here and listen to me blab this long anyway. I love you guys for it, but I still haven't found the one part I wanted to show you, which usually how it goes. Oh, let's check this out. There's another little thing that looks like a face. This one had horns on it, two eyeballs, a nose, and a mouth, looking this way. Just for an area that said whatever happened here, there were either a whole lot of sculpture heads or how this stuff got so hot and melted. Ooh, what's this right here? We got something, looks like it's got two antennas, kind of like a little body. Just kind of out of the ordinary for where it is. Here's it has cables running through these. And this stuff this doesn't look like chip rock I see anywhere on Earth. And it looks like it's on a whole other planet, so it's not expected to actually look like something here on Earth. But there's that girl again. It's just so cool. I love that thing. And like I said, alright, my buddy found this, and I'm gonna link him below. Let's see. There's one. We look for that quarry one more time and give it up. So I gotta find a quarry. Part of my little rap song for my buddy who wanted it. Oh my, oh my. It's been a long week, guys. Long week. These are just some cool. I'm just pointing. When I was pointing stuff, you can see there's like little a circle with 1, 2, 3 little dots. Some stuff right here. Just looked like it had some sun rays on it. Just interesting stuff. Up here it seems to have like a square pattern to that right there. Almost looks like it was checkered out. For a very small area, and indeed small, like I said, and we don't know how, like I said, I don't pretend to know how big life on any planet was or could have grown on that planet. So You know, the Martians could be this big and roaming around just, back in the day, and they just had a lot to work with. Um, okay, so I don't see the quarry rock. I'm sure I'll find it right when I get off of here. I'll find it. That we showed you this rocks earlier. They were kind of cool. Showed you that. That just popped up. All right. I think that's it. Well, you know what? I think I might have found that. I didn't even go over here. Here we go. Bingo! Okay, looks like we had the stuff. All right. I almost let you go before I showed you some of the cooler stuff. All right. Check this out. Tell me this doesn't look just like something buried in a machine. This is even good because it's a different color metal. And you can tell it's different from around it. Look, there's nothing like it. And you can tell it's smooth. It's almost like bronze. See how this is the corner and it goes around and it's smooth. You can just see how either the wind has helped it or it was how it was worked and how it comes up here and the piece just looks to be part of something. I wish I could just point at my screen as this saves this picture here. Here we go. You can see how it works, but it follows the same pattern down here. And this rock is kind of blocking the view, the rest of the view of it, but it seems to have another box up there it connects to. And up here it seems that we have looks some quarrying. Some of these other blocks were maybe taken from here. See how you've got the cuts in them? Looks like they were chipped out, just like if you go anywhere. Pumapunku, Egypt, they look like they were taken from the side. Here's another chipped one, looks like it was taken out. And looks like it has something like a little snake hanging over it too or something. I imagine that there's a lot of reason that they have to put those things in because, well, it has to be in the paradigm that there's no life on Mars. No matter what rover goes there, if they're going to keep the status quo how it is, then the Brookings Institute report on extraterrestrial life and how it would just totally destroy our economy, our civilization if we knew that there was something more powerful out there than us or even just knew there was something else out there. Here was cool. This kind of looks like a gray alien. It's just kind of built into the mountain there. Two little slits for eyes, a little slit nose and a mouth. I'm sure that's just my eyes doing that, but I saw it. I see what I see. You see what you see. And I would say we meet in the middle. Oh, here's more of the carving. See, it looks like they took a perfect slit out of there and took some of the rock out and used it somewhere else. And even see, there's some trinkets and stuff here. A little round trinket. It's got a ball in the middle of it. Almost looks like if you pick that up, it almost looks like an old lantern. The bottom part right here would be the bottom, and this would be the light bulb. This would be at the top, which is a little bigger. And see, it even has like a little handle that could have gone the rest of the way around and been held up like a lantern. And that does look like it had some stuff taken from it. I saw this little part as maybe some of the rock quarry. They were gritting stuff. But like I said, if this see how there's a lot more of these. Oh, and check this out over here. I'm gonna let you guys go without even checking out a lot of this cool stuff over here. Duh. Look, we got little critters over here too. Check these two rocks, how they come out. It looks like an egg hatched here. And it looks like there's lizards in this thing. I don't know. To me, it just looks. Look at these, just roots or something growing up along here. Um, See how this looks kind of chiseled out. And look at this. Tell me this doesn't look like artwork right here. Wow. An eyeball and a mouth. Looks more here. See an eyeball. Like this was just, this looks like art to me, even down here. See there's circles, looks like a little face in it. More and more of what, you know how in cave art it would be, and this seems to be whatever was left here seems to be very delicately left. And that could just, like I said, this could be just my eyes matrixing stuff again, but look at this does seem to have like, that's cool. Look how these look like they were actually built to frame something, like there'd be something in there, or how it came off. They were a lot lighter rock or something, and the middle part just spewed out or something. That's neat. Up here, it looks like they've carved in some stuff that looks like an H and I, something along those lines. H high. So you guys think somebody at NASA did this? You think that they make these up? What do you guys? Sometimes I wonder if they're just doing this just to have fun. They watch my videos. Their video servers hit. I see NASA.gov hits my video server all the time, and they hit my website, so they're looking at the stuff, so they either laughing at us or they're enjoying it, or maybe they don't even look at the pictures. But, it's a government agency, and it's a shill one because it's put out, and a lot of times it's, they're there. We all know there's a secret space program that has much more technology than NASA does. So right there, if NASA is a shill organization, it's a front. It's what to keep us busy. And I tell you what, it's keeping us busy with some amazing pictures and keeping my mind busy and keeping imagination alive. That's how I feel about it. I love you guys. I think this. I absolutely think they're on Mars. I think they got there as easy. They weren't gonna have issues getting there because I think we have technology probably that can get us most places fairly quicker than what we're doing now with modern technology and modern rockets. Well, we'll see. Well, we might never see. You know what I mean? Because people say this stuff is locked up so deep, and I don't want to get too political or too, but it's so locked up so deep in black projects, we're never going to see any of it. But all right, so blah. Look at this. This kind of looks worked. Just so interesting. I love it. I love it. These pictures are cool. And I tell you what, now let me go find this guy and give him some kudos because this is a cool video he did, and he deserves it. Let me see, YouTube, youtube.com. You guys come check out my YouTube. What's up in the sky? I know he was under my notifications earlier. Where was it? Monty Williams, and you probably already have him on your thing, but he's got a cool site, and this guy rocks. I'm gonna put some of his stuff on my, and he's got a good humor about him too. I love his site. I love his videos. He does a great job. Where was it on here? He does this thing with Moss here. Check his stuff out. Let's get him some views. He's got 486 subscribers now. Let's see if you guys can't bump him up a little bit and get him some more views. Here's the dog woman found on Mars. And he does it with a lot of humor, so it's a lot different than what I do. Thank you, Monty. I checked out. I definitely used your thing here. I haven't seen anybody else who found it. That was a great picture. You guys get it from that. You guys see where to get it from NASA. Much love. What's up in the sky? 37. Let's see. I wrapped. I got everything done. Let's see how long we went here. 26 minutes. Good lord. Oh, this probably take all night. And probably gonna be $20 upload by the time my bandwidth is done. It's amazing what my cable company has started to do. Mediacom was the worst, rated the worst in the country. And this is really sad because Comcast is 2 doors over, but with the way it works here, you can't get it. I'm almost ready to just run my own cable over there and beg the people down there to let me have it. But Mediacom has it, so I only get 250. What is it, 250 gigs now or something to upload and download. People are like, that's a lot. Well, I run an IT department out of here for work. I also run, these videos. These videos, when they're all said and done, some of these big ones can be up to 20 gigs to upload. It's crazy in HD how big that takes. So that stuff goes like this. Not to mention some of these are gig files that just the pictures alone are gig files when you're looking at these high resolution ones. So I'm surely not complaining, but Mediacom, I can't believe they charged me this, and they're the worst. The worst rated for speed, for cable, for friendliness, and they are the most expensive. So anyway, that's my ranting for tonight. You know how I am. Much love. I had a great week. Busted out a bunch of work. Now I'd say this weekend I'm going to be hanging out with the girlfriend Ann at the condo. I'll probably do some of the iPad videos. I always like to put some stuff up. You'll see me. I'll be doing some stuff. We're going to be relaxing. And much love, guys. Take it easy. What's Up in the Sky 37. Check it out. www.whatsupinthesky.com. And this is a long one. Hopefully it worked. Peace.